Yeah, you're part of a corrupt empire. Because it's an empire. It's inherently corrupt.
It's not true.
Oh, yes, it is. Any system built
And
on
that is the end of all
warfare.
arguments. Oh, yes, it is. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta. This is Lessons, and we are back with another story arc of Legends of the Galactic Heroes Gaiden. I think we are in the Duellist now.
Yeah.
Having just finished the Mutineer. Implicitly, though, we're still in the Raiden, for some reason, is in my head. Reinhard. We're still in the Reinhard side of the story, yeah. I don't have any board work or notes or anything, so... And this is the first episode of this specific arc, so all we really have to go on is he got promoted last time, didn't he?
Yes. Yeah, he always does.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's not like Yang, who just like...
Got a double promotion, yeah.
Yeah, and then promoted 6 hours later, because we even have a whole little storyline thing of, we can't promote you immediately, so we kind of have to wait a little bit.
Yeah.
And also, the last time we were with Yang, the narrator even specifically says, and that was the longest time he ever stayed at a rank. Meaning, he's just going to get promoted faster and faster.
Yeah.
For...
something.
I mean, really, what did he do other than got taken hostage and then walked through a Jeffries tube?
Oh, he did help uncover the prison's warden stealing all that money.
Did he, or did he just repeat what the old guy told him? Implying that he's in an Indiana Jones scenario, that if he wasn't here, everything would have played out the same.
Because I think the investigator wouldn't have had a reason to do that. But he got a heads up when they were lying about stuff like, oh, why are these guys lying to me? Let me investigate.
I'm just saying he hasn't been real impactful in his own story.
True.
Versus Reinhardt, who is, fighting to survive every episode. It's hard. It's hard. We know that Reinhardt is on what you would describe as the bad guy side, given who he represents, and that Yang is clearly on the side of capitalism. But
it's not really good. I would say democracy, not capitalism.
Well, clearly it's...
I think both sides have capitalism. They have shops and stuff. So
do they?
It's not like... Yeah.
Have we seen every shop on the Empire?
Where all these goods go.
In fact, I don't believe we... Well, hold on. I can't even think we've discussed money on the Empire side. And money keeps coming up on the Alliance side. Literally from day one, it's all about business with Yang's dad. It's all about how much we can't afford now that your dad's dead. What free programs do you have for education? Oh, what programs are being shut down because we lost funding due to the war? It's all about money over there on the Alliance side. It's never come up on the Empire side.
This is more focus on station. I mean, I suspect, for example, that the soldiers get paid something, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're never shown wanting for anything. I mean, other than other postings. But it's never. I don't have enough money to do this.
There were factories with civilians on them as well on this planet that we're fighting for. So I guess they're civilian contractors in some places. So that has to be owned by somebody, either a noble family or a corporation, right?
Yeah, because it has to be implied that they're not like prisoners of work or anything. Yeah. Especially because Reinhardt's like, well, you're supposed to defend these people. He wouldn't be like that if they were like forced labor. So yeah, I mean, ironically, the worst stuff we've heard about the Empire actually comes from the Alliance side. The defectors story about thought police and everything like that.
Oh, and that the nobles who get pissed off try to murder your family. But yeah,
Yeah, that can happen in the Alliance too.
Yeah.
Literally, it's implied that the politicians that didn't like Bruce Ashby may have tried to get him killed. So,
but they didn't.
that we know of. Literally, that's one, that story is sealed for like 20 years, so we'll never know.
50 years,
and two, everything that we learned hasn't even been proven to be true. So, but I mean, yeah, people in power can try and get you killed if you annoy them. Sure, that's true everywhere. I'm just saying that it's just funny to me that everything on the Empire side that we've seen isn't that different from anywhere else.
Or that your father will sell your sister to the emperor because, to carry favor.
Okay, that only applies in a place that has an emperor.
Which side has an emperor?
No, I'm saying that you're like narrowing it down, like, oh, that's only because you sold your sister to that guy named Steve, and it's like that only applies to places with Steves.
That's what you said.
That's what I'm saying.
I didn't say that. I said that this is a place where people can sell their family to other people who are more powerful to get better stations.
To be fair, though, we haven't seen that doesn't exist in the Alliance. No, I'm saying your example was so specific because there's only one emperor, right? It's like if there was only one Steve in the entire galaxy, it's like you sold your sister to Steve, and it's like, well, that's a very specific example you're throwing out here. There's only one emperor. I can't use it on the Alliance. The Alliance doesn't have an emperor.
A place where you can sell your people to Steve or the emperor or Emperor Steve or Steve the Emperor is still not a good place to be.
No. My example was more so the fact you didn't say like the highest member of society or something. It was like, if you can sell yourself, or somebody can get sold to the president of the Alliance or whatever, right?
That's pretty bad.
That would be the equivalent, though. But we don't know what they're called, and so you used the word emperor, and it's like, well, only one of these two factions has an emperor, and it's a singular title, which means there's only one of them. So your example is this one guy in the galaxy can have people sold to him. It's like, yeah.
I mean, that's not good, is it?
Yeah, but I'm just saying we have no example that it doesn't exist in the Alliance either.
And also, how can, if you're a commoner...
Well, that was the dude last time. Bertram, that was the Bertram example. That you just get military rank over top of their social rank. So, literally, Bertram is the answer to your question. That you didn't even I didn't let you even ask. Bertram is the answer to that question I didn't let you ask.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're in sync. We're in sync enough that I also knew where you were going, knew the answer fast enough, and pulled an in-universe lore guy to answer you. And you stopped because you knew that was what I was to say.
So, a place where you can sell your sister, your daddy sells your sister to Steve, is not a place I want to be.
But you don't know what places that is.
Or simply the emperor has so much enough power that he can just order it and nobody will tell him otherwise.
Well, he didn't order it, though. He literally got bought and sold, which means that if the emperor has such control that he can say, I want that, give it to me, and you have to say, okay, I didn't want my whole family to die, so here's the thing. He wouldn't say, here's, money in exchange for goods. Because even though I'm the emperor, I'm still beholden to the commodity market that we all are beholden to.
And also a place where if someone commits treason, their entire family pays for it.
Well, here's the thing. Since I know I'm going to edit this all out, that would have been the example that you should have used the money. When we said before that we've never shown money on the emperor side, you should have been like, oh, except for that time they used money to buy a person. Any other thoughts about Legend of the Galactic Heroes? So I can at least tie it back in. Yeah.
I think we should get into it, yeah.
All right, well, that said, let's go ahead and get on into it.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this,
unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
Oh, right, gotta talk over the opening. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
But people
guess
were mainly-
all the things I could talk about. The thing I was wanting to do, but I think we're too far in now for me to do it, was I was starting to try and make a map of the galaxy. Well, because we've seen a bunch of like map shots from Gang's thing. I was like, do I want to go back through 14 episodes of Gang's investigation to figure this out? And
It doesn't go anywhere. Yeah.
yeah, because otherwise I have like a that one episode, I think I showed it to you before, that showed us like the drawback of the map because it spanned it from side to side. So I took a screenshot when we're on one end and we're on the other and put them together. So I could like put something together map wise there, but I'd have to go back a whole bunch. I was like, do I want to do that when I already have to make all these notes and concept boards and the live streams that I'm doing now? I got a lot of shit to keep up with, and it'd be nice. Hey, if any of you guys out there on YouTube or in the Patreon feel like you got a lot of extra time and not a lot to do,
Draw me a galactic map.
well, no, I mean just the stuff that we've seen so far. I don't want spoilers.
Yeah. No.
If I wanted like a full-on galactic map, I would just Google, right? Just like something for us, so we can say we've seen that place or we know where they're going when they pan over the map.
I think it still would be spoilery, though. I'm sure people have done a lot of those maps.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Only the stuff that we've seen.
Yeah. Very specific. I would say, I was going to read out the date and, well, the narrator.
Well, I mean, of course, I pay attention to it because you already know I have a whole notepad that is literally just dates and when things happen and what dates. Oh, that's right, Odin. I forgot that was the name of the planet.
Yeah.
Well, because we've been in the gang so much, so that's the capital of the other side was Hennison?
Interesting, they have flat screens, and this was made in the 1990s?
Or is it a mirror? Nope, it's a screen,
it's
never
a
mind.
screen. Yeah. I mean, flat screens started appearing in the 1990s, but, you know,
Well,
most of the time...
technically, the original show was 1989.
Yeah.
So if these appear in the actual show... I appreciate that they're still using keyboards.
I mean, it's functional. I know people use like VR and
well, no, like
holograms
touch
and all
screens
that.
you think would be the thing, but
yeah.
I don't want a touch screen now when they exist.
Mm-hmm.
You know how smudgy a touch screen would get over time? How many times you have to clean that?
They're not as efficient as people think it is.
ここにいるとそれがよくわかるな。ラインハルト様はお忘れにはなりませんよね。俺は大軍を指揮するようになっても常に前線にありたい。常に
Like that guy McQueen.
の方下に身をさらしながら全軍を叱咤する。
He certainly is ambitious.
そんな司令官になりたいものだ。なんだこれは。どうな
It's a piece of paper.
ここの数字を見てみろ。イゼルロン要塞から各前哨基地への物資の輸送実績の統計だが、出荷量と消費量に大きな差がある。
Ah, graft.
単なる統計上の誤差では済まない量ですね。さすがはラインハルト様、身を入れてやっていないように見えて、見るべきところは見ていらっしゃる。キルヒアイス、裏付けが欲しい。もっとデータを集めてくれ。は。
I'll make them pay for making me do paperwork.
よく調べ上げた。と言いたいところだが、無意味だな。
お言葉ですが、召喚らには無意味とは思えません。その通りです。これは前線に送られる物資の横流しの可能性を示唆しております。
saying, sure, but the guy you're telling it to already knows.
ケイラは若いから分からんのも無理やないが、そんなものは今さら指摘するまでもなく、皆承知していることだ。それらは
Although it seems like you outrank him.
そんな役得でもなければ、誰も最前線に赴任する者がいなくなる。
しかし、それでは監察局は何をするのですか？
Rubber stamp.
強悪に歯止めをかけることだな。私腹を肥やすにも節度というものがある。その節度を失う
Yeah, make sure the people that are taking aren't taking too much.
ですが、統計上の数字の差は公式にはどう説明が加えられるのですか？
物資の輸送中の損耗だな。端的な例では食料などは輸送の手配がつかずに積み出し港で腐ったことにでもすればいい。実際そういう例も多い。ケイラが指摘した数字の
So that's when I walked into the office carrying a recording device.
まあいずれにせよロスした分はまた市民から徴収すれば済む。目くじらを立てるほどのことではない。下手に騒ぎ立てても誰も得をせん。ケイラも世の中の仕組みというやつを学ぶことだな。
Yeah, you're part of a corrupt empire. Because it's an empire. It's inherently corrupt.
It's not true.
Oh, yes, it is.
なんというタイだ。タイマン、タイ
Any system built
And
on
that is
continuous
the end of all
warfare.
arguments. Oh, yes, it is.
前線から遠くなると核も腐敗する。
Any system that is built on continued exploitation and expansion of territory is by definition corrupt.
Only in
There's
human
never been
history.
この国の軍隊が中心
Only in human history.
まで腐りきっているぞ。
Do we have any other history to go with?
Yeah.
お声が大きい
This is an anime, for one thing. It has its own history, which is far
Yeah.
beyond ours. So, you don't know what happens in the future human history.
Well, they show him it's
Maybe the
corrupt.
exact example of your thing has happened.
意義があるのです。どうか態度をお進みください。今は至福の時です。ラインハルト様がいずれ権限を手にされた時、不正も腐敗も一掃なさればよいのです。それまで
I mean, he's calling it out, all the inequity and degeneration of this nation. Of the nation.
分かっている。
Yeah, my argument isn't about the Empire in this show. You just made a blanket statement, and I don't like blanket statements, so I decided to argue.
俺はまだあまりに無力だ。
Yeah, but did I?
ラインハルト
Stutter? No.
No. Did I lie?
I hope we've never been lying to one another this whole time.
Oh, there. Yeah.
You can be wrong without lying.
True.
Lying describes an intent to deceive.
お焦りになりますな。4年学校を出て半年で退位。どんな大貴族の指定でも成し得なかった速さで出世の階手を上っていらっしゃるではありませんか。
I'll tell you this though, Reinhardt does not hide anger very well.
したところでこんなつまらないことをしているのはもう嫌だ。腐った匂いがしないか、キルヒャイス。息が詰まりそうだ。腐りきったオーディンの空気を吸っていることさえ嫌になる。
もう一度転属願いを出しますか。
前線だ。前線に出たい。前線には
But
前線の
first,
腐敗もある
you'll
が
have to fight a
こんな
duel.
よどんだ空気のところよりはマシだ。
ですがオーディンにいればアンネローゼ様にお目にかかる機会は得られます。
まあそれはそうだ。いやダメだ。姉上も一刻も早くこのような腐臭の漂う場所からお救いしたい。第一、お目にかかる機会というが、姉に会うのにいちいち皇帝の許可を得なくてはならないというのが腹立たしいではないか。
I mean, it doesn't seem like you're gonna be able to avoid that for a long time.
Yeah, he's the emperor, you know.
Or the Kaiser, as it were.
You know what Kaiser stands for, right?
You understand that every mountain would just be called mountain if you wanted to live that way?
Yeah, no, but specifically Kaiser stands for Caesar. Which is
You understood what I said,
Julius
though,
Caesar.
right?
Yeah.
Before
I
you
know,
jump
but
down
just-
this long list of this means that, every
Yeah.
mountain in every language tends to mean mountain in its own language. So, you'll just be living a real boring life if you want to go that way.
姉上のためだなどというのです。
ダメよね。軍務省もお役所だから。
I guess that's not her.
それっきりなの？
一応報告書は受理されましたが。
I think in the last episode, I thought that was her. But you don't think she'd be acting this way if it was. Also, I don't think she'd be sitting right next to her if it was.
No, that's not. If you mean, I think meaning no, that's not her.
Yeah, we're both being very coy about this. She has the same face, though.
It'll be a family member. Oh, she's younger, though.
I think you're just saying that because the other one's angry all the time. Looks older because she's angry.
子供扱いされてラインハルト様はご不満だろうが、しかしこの男爵夫人にはかなわないな。ま、アンネローゼ様のお見
And she's a duchess, not a baroness. An archduchess, I think.
でも二人とも筋の通る世の中じゃないんだから、あまり無理すると本当に誰かに睨まれるわよ。気をつけなさい。
I mean, they already have made a lot of enemies, so try to kill them.
I don't know if that was my TV, but the animation of the pan in.
Yeah, well, like blurry, yeah.
Yeah, because it looked like the eyes had like these artifacts on them that was like moving too. It's like, made me sick. Yeah, you remember yesterday when we all had names and we weren't just addressed by our titles?
あの件のせいね。あの件？実はね、男爵夫人。いいじゃないの。聞いていただきましょうよ。ですけど。いいから。ねえ、アンネローゼ。ヘルクスハイマー伯爵ってご存知？
ええ。お名前だけは。確か、リッテンハイム公爵のご一門では。
評判はお聞きになってない？
ええ。その伯爵が何か？
We'll also point out, since we haven't said anything in a bit, all of Yang's conversations that had a maximum of 3 people involved, and we get like tables of people.
Yeah, but these are more important people, I suppose.
I will give Yang this. He's surrounded by people whose names I can pronounce. Helksheimer? Is that what it is?
Helgersheimer, yeah. And lewd. Oh.
あら、とにかくいやらしいやつだっていうことは重要よ。だいたい夫人に言い寄るときだって強引で権力づくで手段を選ばなくって。あら、二人にはこんな話は早かったかしら。
No, literally, our first appearance is we stopped a rape.
Yeah.
We're actually a lot older than you might think.
採掘権のことは裁判になれば決着がつくでしょうに。
そこがいやらしいところよ。正式な民事裁判になれば勝ち目がないことが分かっているから、無理やり決闘で決着をつけようと申し込んできたのよ。
This all sounds a lot like Baron Harkonnen. It's all about a mining deal. Apparently he's treacherous and lecherous.
Yeah.
Answers things with duels. All he has to do now is send his son in to fight for him, and boom, it's Harkonnen.
Yeah.
Also, I guess, also float in the air a little bit.
それでは、子爵ご自身が戦う必要はないわけですね。
ところが問題は、シャフハウゼン子爵家の代理人になる決闘者がいないの。そうでしょ？
Also, we have so many duels that we have professional duelists as a parallel system of government.
シャフハウゼン子爵家の代理人にならないようにって。また来てなったらありゃしな。
必勝を期したわけか。
それでどうなさいますの？
それが代理人を立てられない以上、主人が自ら立ち会うか。放棄して相手の要求を受けるか。ですが、ご存知のように、主人は薬用植物の研究と旅行記の読書が唯一の楽しみのおとなしい人です。あらごとは全くの苦手で。
You could have just said he was not good at fighting. You didn't have to throw him under the bus.
I mean, she's saying that basically he's a guy who just likes mundane things.
Right,
you
right.
know?
You didn't have
Not-
to go on to describe him. Like you just said, he's not good at fighting. That's all you have to know about him.
Yeah.
Not how much time he spends in the garden, or you know.
He's a nerd, basically.
このような私事お耳汚しでございましたでしょう。さあ、積もるお話もございましょうし、私たちはご遠慮いたしましょうか。
お待ちください、子爵夫人。その決闘の代理人というのは誰がなってもよいのですか？
Oh, here we go.
ええ。
A great look for Siegfried, though, by the way. Siegfried, who only wants to make sure he's protected at all times, now has to protect him from jumping into duels.
そんなめっそうもない。
いえ、姉上のご友人がお困りの時、黙って見ているわけには参りません。日頃から何かとお世話にもなっております。ここは一つお役に立たせていただきたい。
ですが、それは
ご心配なく、こう見えても軍人です。武器の
I mean, I imagine it sends a message, right? You can't just fuck with me, but you also can't fuck with my sister's friends.
決して遅れを取るようなことはありません。
Unless they cheat.
Which, by all accounts, it seems like they would do.
Yeah.
But of course, we know Reinhardt is the kind of like 3 steps ahead.
もちろんラインハルト様に危険なことをしてほしくないお気持ちは何より強い。だが宮廷の内外に敵の多いアンネローゼ様にとってシャフハーゼン子爵夫人はベストパーレ男爵夫人と共に数少ないご友人だ。
Like you were saying, you know, these are the few enemies. He has to keep her friends close, otherwise.
Especially if he's about to leave. If he's planning to leave for the front lines.
Like
I said, it's bad for Siegfried because he wants to protect Reinhardt, and Reinhardt's throwing himself in the way of it.
何も自らそのような危険を冒されませんでも私が
キルヒアイス、お前自分の方が腕が立つと思っておごっているだろう。
いえ、決してそんな。
ならば今回
Well, then why would I send you out there if you're worse than me?
ですが、
Yeah.
万が一ということもありますし。
あらジーク、それは大丈夫よ。決闘といっても儀式的なもので命に関わるようなことは。
Oh, we're gonna make sure it risks the life.
It really does, yeah.
We gotta send a message.
相手にそれほど敵図を負わせずに降参させるのが上手な決闘で。
Although, I guess we don't have to kill them. You know, if we injure them for life, it'll send a message, and then that person will be sending the message every time they show up somewhere.
万が一のことがあっても、決闘の上でのことなら罪には問われないけど、評判が落ちるわ。
Oh, I don't give a fuck about my reputation.
ラインハルト様。
くどいぞキルヒアイス。たまには私に譲れ。
たまにはっていつもいいところ持っていくじゃないですか。
Oh,
よろ
the
しいです
fun.
ね、子爵夫人。
いえ、そんな。
いいからお願いしちゃいなさいよ。
でも。
大丈夫よ。私がお膳立てしてあげるから危ないことはないって。
I really just feel like she's the one in charge of the room.
Yeah, very much.
衣装も用意しなくちゃね。
Or maybe she is in league with the Archduchess and exploiting this to get him to.
Well, one of the other conversations that she had with Glacier was about finding an assassin.
結局アンネローゼも積極的に反対はせず、ラインハルトが代理人を引き受けることで話が決まってしまった。
Her voice actor had the easiest work of all.
Are these hover cars? I guess so.
怒っておられるかな。
You wonder? He didn't look happy.
どう思う？
お怒りになるというよりご心配のご様子でしたね。
あ、そういう冷たい言い方。お前が怒っているな。
私は別に構いませんが、アンネローゼ様にあまりご心配をおかけになりませんように。
そう言うな。 俺だって内勤に飽きた退屈しのぎや鬱憤ばらしで引き受けたわけじゃない。
It sounds that way.
When he's ranting about wanting to go to the front line, so clearly he wants to.
こんなことでもいい。間接的なことでもいい。何かをしたいんだ。姉上のために。
ラインハルト様。ラインハルト様も。
God, I gotta get over this panning thing.
わかりました。
I don't know what it is that's causing that weird wavy effect.
何事もないよう、私が精一杯お助けします。アンネローゼ様にご心痛をおかけしないよう、私にできる限りのことで。
頼りにしている。ではまず決闘のことを調べてくれ。
ラインハルト様は
You don't know the conventions of dueling? You have to do research?
何かややこしいルールがあったように記憶しているが。
Well, I mean, they didn't even know if you could stand in for somebody, so clearly.
Yeah.
That should have been the first warning for the person you're trying to duel for. That you're asking them questions.
要は喧嘩銃火を選んでそれで相手を倒せばいいんだろう。簡単なことじゃないか。
Well, among those options, I'm gonna choose gun.
Yeah.
You pick the sword, I'll take the gun.
Or it could be an artillery piece, I don't know. Orbital strike.
Sure, but I think I'm pretty safe
Fighter
considering the
squadron.
distance that duels happen at. That you're not gonna fire the artillery at your own face. Whereas my gun is safe at most distances.
ベストパーレ男爵夫人の言う通り、決闘はゲーム的な性格が強く、命のやり取りをするというものではなくなっていた。特に大貴族が行うそれは利害とプライドをかけて。
That's problematic though, because if it's not enough danger, then people are gonna risk a lot with the threat of little.
当事者以外の貴族の見物も多く、実際にそれぞれで賭けを行っていたりもする。すなわち小的な要素も多く、実際に戦う決闘者がプロである以上、相手を死なせるようなことはめったにない。その意味でラインハルトの生命に危険が及ぶようなことはなかった。
Except that Reinhardt's not a professional, so the person he's dueling against is in a lot of danger.
Yeah. So you have to make it look good. There you go.
何？あの小僧が？
I'm gonna guess that the person Reinhardt's gonna duel against isn't gonna have any live ammo. And she's gonna have an assassin shoot him from the crowd. That way, the guy who shoots him is guaranteed to miss because he won't have a live round. But Reinhardt will still get shot. It'll appear as though he hit. And like that guy just fucked up and did a bad job and won the fight and the other guy died. In this case, Reinhardt. But, you know. Anyway, that's how I'd play it. Obviously, it's not what's going to happen because I'm just now acknowledging the fact that I'm saying out loud Reinhardt would die. That's not going to happen, obviously.
I actually would do it the other way. Remember, they said that these duels are rarely to the death. They're not to the death, right? They're
not supposed to be. It doesn't mean it can't happen by accident.
Yeah, but you're supposed to show skill, right? Now, like they literally show a shot where the other guy, gets a hand, blasted the gun out of his hand, right? What if instead of shooting, putting a blank on Reinhardt's gun, right, switching them at the last moment, and having someone shoot the other guy dead, showing
so you're saying exactly the literal opposite, where I put a blank in the guy that Reinhardt's fighting's gun and had an assassin shoot Reinhardt. You're saying put a blank in Reinhardt's gun and shoot not the assassin, shoot the guy he's fighting?
Yes, because that would ruin his reputation.
Do you maybe forgot when Reinhardt, when they said, if you kill somebody, it'll ruin your reputation, and Reinhardt smiled because he didn't fucking care. That's why I said, I don't fucking care about my reputation.
But remember, what the Baroness wants to do is ruin his sister's reputation is standing in court. That's what she
wants.
No,
she wants to make her suffer
yeah.
through the sadness of her brother's. Hold on.
シャフハウゼン子爵に代わって決闘に臨むことを引き受けたラインハルト。その評判は貴族社会の耳目を集める。それは同時に予期せぬ危険を呼び込む。
turns out he's not a good shot.
慣れない旧式の銃の扱いに苦労するラインハルトの前に現れたのは、次回銀河英雄伝説外伝決闘者第2話。守るべきものは誇りか夢かそれとも愛か。
I mean, I understand what you're going with, but I don't think that plays here because Reinhardt doesn't fucking care, and I don't think Anna Rose fucking cares either. The entire plot to kill him was to make her suffer by him dying.
Yeah.
I don't think either of them actually care about their reputation.
Yeah, but he should care about reputation because he could just sabotage his way to the top. I mean, he wants to be commander on the field.
Conversely, he ruins the reputation of his family, and then it becomes untoward for the Kaiser to be with someone like Anna Rose, who has a bad family reputation, and that gets rid of her. In which case, he's accomplished the mission. He doesn't have to get rid of her by killing her. There's literally no reason to do so. She just becomes another member of the court who's no longer in his favor, or probably then gets removed from the court. In which case, she just goes back to whatever commoner life she probably had before. In which case, boom, success.
Yeah, but his reputation suffers, and then he can't.
He only cares about advancing because he doesn't want his sister in this position.
Oh, I think he has his own ambition to be a commander in the field. He wants to be on the field. He wants to be a commander. He says that when I get my own fleet, that sounds a little more than just I want to help my sister.
Well, my point in the long run here is that I don't feel like your plan accomplishes anything for anybody. At least my plan kills Reinhardt, which accomplishes the Duchess's ploy. Obviously, I recognize it wouldn't happen because, one, it's too good of a plan. In that Reinhardt can't die because this is his backstory. We haven't gotten to his actual story yet. So my plan's too good. Otherwise, Reinhardt winning the day does nothing for the Duchess.
It's not winning the day, it's how he wins the day.
I think she wants him dead. She's indicated multiple times she just wants him dead. So I don't see how, I'm gonna hire a guy with a gun, but not for who you think. It doesn't seem like that's the way she would go. It just doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, but why then put all that emphasis on how you win the duel? And especially not the you shouldn't kill your opponent. Because if it's a matter of if you just win by killing, people just kill other people.
You know what? You want to know what I think the reason for emphasizing that is that we have 3 more episodes to go, and Reinhardt can't just get to the duel. He has to learn to duel right, and as we've seen in the next time on, he sucks. So we have to. This is our training montage, except that it's 2 episodes long. Even Rocky had a montage.
I mean, yeah. Like most of the movie was a montage.
Yeah, I guess it's the fall down. Well, I guess you do understand I'm quoting Team America, right? All right. Well, you said you're responding to me as though I just said that instead of quoting a thing. You don't typically respond to a quote unless you're counter quoting me. In which case, I don't know who said all of Rocky was a montage.
America, fuck yeah. Anyway.
Well, I mean, my point, what I was about to say is I actually don't know if that stands up anymore. The Team America quote, I mean. Even Rocky had a montage, which indicates that Rocky was too good for a montage, or what other things have montages before Rocky that I don't remember. It's just, even Rocky had a montage.
I mean, it's a martial arts movie in a way, so yeah, of course he has a montage. Boxing is a martial arts.
Yeah, I know it is. It's just weird to hear it that way because it was so ingrained that martial arts describes like kung fu or things like that, and it's like, well, it is martial. And I guess technically it is an art, so that would make it a martial art. Boxing is such. I mean, I don't know who the hell is an anime fan watching two old men on the internet on YouTube. So I don't know who I'm going to be angry when I say this. But it's just like boxing feels like such the lowest form of martial art. Well, I mean, in the perspective of it is a lot of martial arts are full body, like your MMA martial arts, for example. All are ones that predominantly have you using like legs, feet, arms, whole chest, all your weight, all the body motions. Whereas boxing is literally, you can hit me from like here to here, but only with these, and only in positions and from angles that we've pre-described as available to you. Is the most limiting that I can think of.
That's when you see a boxing as a just like, well, if you go to and do a karate competition, there's also limits. If you go,
but it's still karate is still hands and legs, right? It's still more and from many more angles. Like, I understand that you're saying there's restrictions to all martial arts. I'm just saying that boxing, and from my outside opinion, literally the most I know about boxing is from Hajime no Ippo. Is the most restrictive of all the martial arts I'm aware of. Because again, it's fists, here to here, and only from the forward direction. Literally, if you come from behind or the side, that's, you're losing points. And all the other ones I'm aware of use more than that. And aren't as restrictive. Like, they have the restrictions, but they're less restrictive.
I mean, again, most of the restrictions are not of the martial art itself, but rather of the framing of competition. Or the rules of the competition, because you can do more things.
I acknowledge that.
I know what you're saying, that it's.
But even with those social restrictions from the competitive nature of those martial arts, still not as restrictive as boxing.
But still, it is something that movies like Rocky and all the martial arts movies have, is that they tend to have a
cool soundtrack.
Yes, but also
an action star as the main protagonist.
That too. So we're having two things that some sucky martial arts movies. So never mind. But also have montages, training montages. So
I was going to go with romantic subplot as my next one.
And
blood could also have. I mean, I was not going to run out of things. So, but yeah, I mean, not a bad episode. Obviously, I joked over way too much of the scenes, but relatively, this was the Yang sits in his office drinking as the computer tells him exposition episode of the Reinhardt side. I at least enjoy the element of the. I guess she's a noble. I guess we're going to take the actor route on this one. The directing noble.
Oh, the Baroness, yes. She was interesting. She's the junior nobility there because it's a Viscountess. And, of course, Anna Rose now it's a Duchess, I think. She got elevated to Duchess because she's the paramour of the Emperor, i.e. the Kaiser. And therefore, but she's the one who gets to talk about it. And apparently she has some personal connection to this other guy. Like, yeah, he's a lecher, so it seems like maybe this guy has hit on her at some point, and she's like, "Excuse you," right?
Well, I mean, that's why that's why they stopped her and laughed, because apparently, she's about to start describing her encounters with the guy, and she's like, "Oh, you're too young for that."
And I also like the fact that the Viscountess, right? She has apparently genuine affection for her husband. Like, the way she said it was like, yeah, my husband's a nerd. I don't want to get him hurt, right? It's not like, well, my husband is useless. So
well, I don't know. That's what it read as an acknowledgement of how useless her husband would be in a duel.
I think it was like, it's more like, oh no, my husband is, he's a quiet kind of guy. I don't want to get him hurt, right? He's gonna either embarrass or hurt himself. I don't want to see that. The way it was voice acted and presented wasn't like, well, my useless fucking husband can only curse about plants and whatever else and travelogues.
Well, there's a difference between being able to say that your husband is useless and then putting the tang on something you just said. My useless fucking husband. She just said, my husband's useless. he's not going to win this fight, so it's either we lose everything or he gets killed in a fight, which is the way I heard it being said. Which wasn't like, she wasn't like shitting on her husband. It was just, that's what I said. That's why I said you could just say your husband's no good at duels. But she like started shitting on him by like, he's a real wimpy dude. Let me tell you about some of the shit he's into.
Yeah, but I think she shows some affection toward him because, it's like, yeah, he's not very good, and I don't want to see him hurt. So we're willing to take the loss publicly because I don't want to see my husband killed, right, or injured, right. So it's a double dilemma in that we're going to lose no matter what, but I'm not willing to, on top of that, sacrifice my husband, just for the show of it, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was all table talk anyway.
Yeah, but it shows different characters of the different people, right? Anne Rose didn't say anything. She was just talking with her eyes like, oh, I don't want... Basically, her dialogue was, I don't want my brother get hurt, and I don't want his best friend getting hurt, which I may or may not have feelings for, or I may or may not know that he has feelings for me, but I still don't want him getting hurt.
Well, I'm pretty sure she knows. She's been eating her onion pie.
Oh. Is that are you applying a double entendre there, or what? What are you...
You don't remember? They talked about it.
Yeah, but that was it. That's it. That it could... I mean, it
She literally made onion pie for him. I'm not like... I'm pretty open usually when I'm making like sexual entendre, and this is like... All I said was... He ate her onion pie. I hate onions, by the way.
I'm not a fan of them.
I can't even imagine what an onion pie would fucking be.
I mean, she might have done something nice for him, but aside from that, I don't think... I mean, he might be doing something nice for his brother's best friend, which, I don't know if she understands that he's madly in love with him and willing to die for her.
I'm pretty sure it's clear. I mean, from my perspective, all of their relationships are pretty clear from the outside, so I have to believe that they're clear from the inside.
If you feed him onion pie, then he's gonna eat your onion pie. I mean,
literally, he keeps coming back for onion pie.
Yeah.
Like, literally, when she got sold, she gave him some extra onion pie to go.
Anyway.
Again, you're the only one chuckling here. I understand that pie is typically a euphemism for eating somebody out, but I mean... It's not what I'm going for here. Literally, it's been on screen like 4 times now. The whole she baked a pie for him.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Which is the fact that it's so... Look, I think there's no greater show than the fact that they're not nobility. It's the fact that they made onion pie.
That's true.
I can't imagine something further from noble.
Yeah.
That's the... It's a beet pie, like something like potato pie. Like, what's a tuber I could rip from the earth? And if you're a noble, you'd be like, "Get me away from that." Make it like sound ostentatious. Give me a pie made of gold flakes.
Clearly, I think Reinhard is minor nobility, but like very minor nobility. But I think his friend is clearly not. He's always
can't be that great nobility. He literally grew up side by side with a commoner.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, they were neighbors. Siegfried was his neighbor.
Yeah, so Siegfried clearly is not nobility, but he keeps referring to him as Lord Reinhard.
Unless it's like an honorific.
Well, it is.
Well, I mean, like, it's something that he gave him. Like, someday you'll be a lord, so I'm going to start calling you a lord so you'll get used to it.
Either way. Yeah. Either way, she doesn't want any of them to get hurt. But she doesn't get to say any... Has she ever said any lines?
Yes.
Except for...
She said
some onion pie.
That's why I said I said during the episode her voice actress has the easiest job of them all. But she said, like, I don't know, maybe... I feel like maybe 4 sentences in the entire run. And they've all been in the flashbacks. Now the whole fucking thing's a flashback, but... now that we're currently in the present with her, she hasn't said anything, but like, I want to say on the hill when Reinhardt was like laying with his head back in his hands in the sun, and she's standing on top of the hill holding a pie with Siegfried. Literally, it's all fucking pies, man. That's why I wasn't laughing. It's not a euphemism. It's just always a fucking pie. She's giving a pie to Reinhard. She's giving a pie to Reinhard and Siegfried, and telling him like keep your brother safe or something like that.
Yeah.
It's all just saying. It's all flashback shit. I never seen her talk in the present.
No.
Anyway. But
Anyway.
again, you gotta figure she's probably being monitored all the time, so maybe she doesn't want to say anything.
True. Anywho. That's it.
All right. Well, once again, I have been Theta. This has been Lessons. We've been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?